Today, we are off and running as we install Inside Zone, a staple in many great NFL and college offenses. We're staying vanilla today as I talk about how these schemes differ versus the base packages of a 4-3 and a 3-4 defense, starting now. Hello again, and what we have for you today is a 3-4 defense versus what we call a 11 personnel, one tight end, which you can kind of see there. His number is hidden by the goalpost. I think it's number 81, and one running back, number 15. So let's go over the basics of the defense. What we see is we have a nose tackle and two defensive ends, as well as a Sam, a Mike, a Buck, and a Will linebacker. These letters stand for strong side, middle, W stands for weak, and then B is sort of an alternative for a middle linebacker. Some other teams will call him a Jack or a Joker, something. In this case, we'll just refer to him, that inside linebacker, as a Buck. And the idea of Inside Zone is that we want to open up a running lane for the running back to go through on the right-hand side. Now, what can also happen here is if the defense decides to over-pursue, what ends up happening is a cutback lane is formed and the running back can go that way as well. So we'll be covering how to block all these defenders in order to get the running back a choice of going two ways. Now, on a standard offense, where the tight end is on the ball, typically what you'll see with the blocking scheme between the three players on the left, number 65, number 76, and number 81, also the known as the guard, the tackle, and the tight end, is you'll see something like this. The guard and the tackle will double that defensive end and they will work towards the Mike linebacker, and the tight end will block the Sam linebacker. Now, the issue with this is because of the tight end's formation is there's sort of a two-way go for the Sam linebacker there. So instead, the amendment is to fan the offensive line, have the guard block the defensive end, have the tackle block the Sam, and the tight end will lead up to block the Mike linebacker. Now, what this leaves for us is number 50 and number 54, the center and the backside guard, are going to double team the nose, and they're going to work towards our Buck linebacker. And the tackle there is responsible man-to-man for that defensive end. Now, remember, it's not a big deal if he can't completely hook that block, because if he over-pursues, number 15 can cut back. So an important thing to note here is that in a zone read, the quarterback is going to be responsible for reading the end man on the line of scrimmage, or Will in this case. So if the Will decides to work upfield, the quarterback can just hand off to the running back and he has his pick of which way to go. However, if the defensive end chooses to crash and try to stop the play from ever developing, the quarterback will be given authority to not hand the ball off to the running back, and he can run the ball outside to where that defensive end is supposed to be. So the big thing to note here is that in a 3-4 defense, the center and the backside guard are going to be double teaming and working up to the linebacker. Now, in this picture, we have a 4-3 defense. So if we take a minute to just label everyone, we have our nose, we have a tackle, and we have two defensive ends now, and two tackles instead of one nose tackle and two defensive ends. In this case, you'll see we have a Sam linebacker, a Mike linebacker, and I'm going to go ahead and label him as a strong safety because in this formation, the Will linebacker is actually walked outside of this picture and he's defending a receiver. So, let's again start with the front side. The tackle is going to essentially fan out again and block that defensive end, and the tight end, in this case number 35, is going to lead up to block our Sam linebacker. Now, note number 54, the play side guard, and the center, I think it's number 55, because there is a nose tackle on that side and not head up with the center, the backside guard is no longer going to work up towards the Mike linebacker. What's going to actually happen this time is that the play side guard and the center are going to work up towards the Mike linebacker. Then what you're going to do, what you're going to see is the backside guard and tackle are going to double team that that other defensive tackle, and they're going to work up towards the strong safety, and they're going to leave the end man on the line of scrimmage to be read by the quarterback. So once again, if he decides to go upfield or just hold his position, the quarterback is going to hand the ball off to the running back, who has the authority to take either direction depending on which way the hole opens. And if the defensive end chooses to crash, what the quarterback can do is pull it, and he is off to the races again. So that is the basics of inside zone. And depending on the formation, a lot of times the blocking schemes will change. And do remember that this is a very, very basic defense. There are a lot more complicated defenses, and because of that, offenses can create calls to tell each person, what scheme they're going to use to block. So that will be the next video, and I will see you guys next time.